I wanted to make a video about what I'm not saying. I'm trying to communicate a message to anyone who will hear, and I think I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I think sometimes it gets misinterpreted. And so people like to take me to the extreme that I'm not saying, which to me is funny because I go, well, obviously I'm not saying that. Clear it up for everybody. First thing I'm not saying that you are not a Christian because you haven't been fighting abortion. We've all been guilty of not fighting abortion. We've all been guilty for not caring for our neighbor who's dying, those babies who are dying. And I'm not saying that your salvation is wrapped up in your works and what you did, but I am saying though is that those who know, are more accountable. So I am saying that we can't ignore our neighbor dying and say that we're Christian. It's a fine line between, yeah, Jesus alone. I'm all for that. Don't start arguing with me about that. But there is a point when I say Jesus alone, but I ignore the person on the side of the road day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. There's many parables that say, Lord, Lord, we did many works in your name. We knew your name. We preached. We sang your name. He says, but you didn't come visit me. You didn't do these things. You ignored me, and you knew you should have. You ignored it. So what I am saying that is if we continue as Christians knowing that our neighbors getting killed and we don't really engage that and we just continue to say, no, I got to call in over here like the priest and the Levites said, like, oh, I got people always go, well, they had bad hearts. We don't know they had bad hearts. They could have been like, oh, I really feel bad about that guy on the side of the road, but I got to get going. Can't do that and say that we're Christians. That fine line, okay? The second thing I'm not saying that all hands on deck means you must lead the calling God has placed in your heart and burden you with. I'm not saying that. You guys, I'm called to work with youth. I still have a burden to work with youth. But I put that somewhat on the back burner, not saying I'm not doing it anymore, but it's not my main focus because I have to address the emergency that's going on with these children. So whatever your calling is, if it's music, if it's other issues or whatever it is, I'm saying it's not as important as the death of children. I'm sorry, it's just not as important as 30 children dying a day in your city. It's on that level, and because that's like so extreme of evil, it causes for us to go, you know what, little 12-year-old, I don't have the time to fully give put my all energy. How about you come do abolition work with me? How about we do Bible study on the way? Adjusting. It's like if a tornado came to your city. Would you say, man, I got a Bible study to go to in an hour? No, you would be like, no, we got to go help people right now. The tornado came and we got to start helping people. Let me call the people in my Bible study to come help. That's how we need to treat abortion. So I'm not saying that you need to abandon your calling. One of my friends was really, really sick at one point. Was it my calling to go support her family and my calling to go to the hospital and visit her? No, it wasn't my calling, but I brought my youth with me. I spent time there and I adjusted my time. How much so when my neighbor's about to be killed? I'm not saying that because you weren't at the clinic this Saturday, God is so mad at you. Not saying that. I get mad when I'm at the clinic, like all abolitionists do. When they're at the clinics and they feel alone, they're like, all these people are like 12 people are coming to kill their kids. There's only like 2 Christians out here. Why aren't we all out here? But I'm not saying if you were with your family, couldn't come. You absolutely couldn't come. I'm not saying that, one more last thing that I want to say that I'm not saying is, I almost forgot about this one. I'm not saying that you have to fight abortion exactly the way Chris Rush is fighting abortion, exactly the way I'm doing it. That is not what I'm saying. I've had people say, Chris, I'm not going to do it the way you do it. And I said, good. I said, I just want you to do it with as much intensity that I'm doing it, with as much zeal, with energy. My way of fighting abortion is, my communication skill, in talking like now. You may be good at writing a song. You may be good at writing poetry. You may be going to get creative with a video or art form, okay? I do believe that there are some basic things that we can all do. I do believe that, we all can pray. I think we all can go to a clinic and pray and be there, hold a sign while you got to at least be at the place where they're killing kids. Like, there's really no escaping that. Like, they're killing kids there. We should at least try to make that routine and be at the place where the killing is happening. I don't know what you do when you're there. You can hold a sign, you can pray, you can try to talk to them. be there. But outside of that, you could go to high schools and talk to people, go to downtown, you could write letters, you could drop cars, you could put up signs, you could help raise money to put up billboards, you could help with a radio show or a radio station, you could do that, you can make blogs. List goes on and on. I'm not asking you to do it exactly like I am, but get intense about it. That's all I'm saying. Get intense about it. There are some basic things we could do.